Okay, shall we quickly check out the Ellis response to stay thorough with this drama? I don't like not knowing, you know. Ellis responding to Nightblue's video. I'm curious what's gonna happen with this.
So the only reason that I'm responding is because, obviously, if you guys have seen Twitter, I'm getting a lot of DMs, and I'm getting a lot of messages, right? And normally I think that would be fine. What I think is not fine is that it's also very evident by reading...
No, the DMs are not fine. People are typing... There's always going to be degenerates who are going to be in the crossfire and just trying to, like, shout people down and type stupid shit. Like, there's a lot of people in his DMs flaming him, absolutely. Which is just not the right approach, obviously. You just have to criticize, like, what you think is not good or whatever. Yeah, it's not fine, all the hate that he's getting. It's expectable, because it's internet, but it's not fine.
A lot of stuff that a lot of people don't actually seem to know entirely what happened. And the video here is not in chronological order. And I think that because it's not in chronological order, I think that there's a reframing that essentially is being done. There's also some stuff missing, some of which I have, some of which I don't have, but I have things that allude to it. And I just want to talk about how it's really weird that no one seems to actually care about what happened and why this whole thing was like a big deal. And then we'll also talk about like the other stuff that I mentioned in the tweet prior to going live.
Okay, I'm actually curious what he's going to say about the video, because the video seems pretty solid from Nightblue.
Alright, so I'll have
I mean, I guess the claim is that he was editorializing it. He was trying to showcase some pieces and remove some pieces. So if more new information comes to light, or it would imply more context that Nightblue knew who the person was, or if Nightblue specifically said to that person, then I guess some of the criticism is okay, because then he did call her at the end of the day. But if he didn't call her and it was just like a coincidence, then I don't know what was the issue about.
We'll see. With having some sort of like a joking, playful nature to the video, that I feel like it's very misaligned with actually what is happening, right? But also what happened over the last like 2 days. So the misalignment is really weird from the get-go. The second thing is that he says that he woke up to this while he was directly engaging with me on these quote-unquote suplexes. If you go to my Twitter timeline, you can actually see that I go on the rest of the day and I continue to just talk about the Worlds games live. I make my tweets about Worlds. I make my tweets about like stuff that's going on inside of Worlds. I'm not talking about Nightblue anymore. So when he says that he woke up to getting virtually suplexed, it's already not genuine because he makes the decision to make a video later and he also deletes tweets on that day. So he didn't wake up to anything. He was doing it in the middle of it. In fact, he was actually still streaming while engaging with me and while even engaging with me on later clips that he ends up showing inside of this video. So already this is really weird. There's no chronological order and the timeline and the accuracy of these things.
I mean, he got a lot of hatred, and the hatred would like compound over the time, right? Is that the reference? I thought that was the reference Nightblue said. Like, he woke up to it, like, he engaged through the bullshit, then he went to sleep, woke up, and then all hell broke loose, like, right? Because the entire Twitter was after him. Just kind of how I felt. I don't know.
I agree. As a major content creator, streamer, YouTuber, whatever, it is a really serious allegation to be accused of misogyny. It's a really serious thing to have it insinuated that you're being misogynistic, to have it insinuated that you're being homophobic, to have it insinuated that you're being racist, to have it insinuated that you're being xenophobic, etc. And generally, when this ends up happening for content creators, and Nightblue's been in the game for over a decade now at this point, I believe, and a lot of content creators all really know that when you get accused of this, it's really important to actually directly confront the accusation because the accusation can run wild. And so
yeah, it's gonna run wild, and yeah, the accusations can just do all sorts of damage.
So that's why I think the follow-up, which he's about to start going into, is actually really odd. So he says that it's the complete opposite, whereas I think that what you can find is with most content creators, streamers, League of Legends personalities, etc., when they're usually accused of really serious things, one of the first things that they actually do is deny it. Whereas Nightblue's tweet, again...
Oh, he's gonna... Oh, I see what he means. He's gonna try to attack that Nightblue response was, I'll just leave this here. This could be like a... This is like a... Just criticizing the suboptimal PR, because the optimal PR would be to attack head-on the biggest accusation. But Nightblue didn't understand how big the issue was, in my estimation, and all he did is try to attack her, claim that she said that he flamed her entire game, and it was like, oh, you flame me, you know? He just tried to get rid of that.
In fact, because he's directly responding to Florence, the only people that can actually see this are people that follow both, I believe, Nightblue and Florence, unless other people engage with the tweet that you're following. And so what that means is that he's just responding to Florence, and that there's a very limited range of people that can actually see the tweet or that would catch the tweet unless it's being brought to his attention while streaming. So the fact that when she's making the claim that this is what he did inside of a game, and his immediate response is not to deny it, but to just leave a question mark and then say what he said, it almost just looks like, well, here's what you did, or this is what happened, right? That's the way that it reads as a...
Yeah, like, if you wanna really look into this, you can see it in multiple ways. You can be ultra charitable and be like, okay, it's just... You know, he's just calling her a hypocrite and that's about it. But you can be on the other side, you can be extra aggressive and say, oh wait, you didn't address this thing, so you're just trying to justify what you said by saying that she deserved it, right? You can think of it like that.
Content creator, streamer, like whatever. So I just thought that was really weird because again, when you're accused of these things, it's insinuated that you did these things, etc. And as someone that has directly been engaged in stuff like this, right? A lot of people will reference the...
Yeah, again, okay, if that is Ellis' entire claim here with this segment, I don't think it's that strong. I don't think it's that worthwhile because this is an easy mistake for anyone to make. If they're not in the PR business, because LS probably knows more about the PR business than Nightblue, so he noticed this mistake immediately, because he's been a very big figure for a really long time, and he's worked with teams, competitive teams, and that's all about PR and branding and marketing. He probably knows a lot about that. He had managers for his Twitter and stuff like that. So yeah, I guess he noticed that, but I don't see that as being like some big point, because it's a very easy mistake to make. Like, streamers are like you also got to think about this. These are streamers mostly, streamers, kids who don't know much about how things work, and you don't necessarily know what to attack, what to do, what is the best way to respond to criticism and claims like this. Because you might just come across this claim and see, oh man, this is like super bullshit, and everyone can obviously tell that it's bullshit, so I might not even like engage with it properly and just like, you know, wave it away. But then you wake up and it's like, oh shit, Twitter is against me.
I disagree. The way that I think this tweet reads is that she's saying that she's called a whore, and his tweet reads as, what are you saying? Look at what you were doing. As if it's fine what I did, or what I insinuated, or what was said. That's the way that the tweet reads.
Yeah, it is that claim which we assume that Ellis might go for. And it's just, I think it's a weak claim. I don't think you can hold this claim and still continue to accuse him immediately, because it's not even close to enough. It doesn't even close the threshold. Not even close to the threshold of you actually being able to call all of these accusations and yeah, just try to witch hunt him. I don't think it's strong enough.
One of the things that's really weird that immediately comes to my mind is that if she's a total nobody, or she's a total random, or if he doesn't actually know who she was, or her chat doesn't know who she was, how is it that he's able to go to her Twitter immediately after the game, locate her Twitter, and then respond to it if his chat is not also bringing all of this stuff up? So that's where I think the VOD actually does come into play, because what is his chat actually saying about what is going on, and then what is also said after the game and what is said before the game, because Florence shows a screenshot
Okay,
of
that's a good claim.
her profile.
That's a better
I
one.
think this is where the chat actually
That's definitely a better one. Now again, if Nightblue hit the wall though, like on purpose because of that, it would just be a very good crime, I guess, because he got away with it to an extent, because you can't really recover it. Well, maybe we'll see if he gets some clips and recover something which would insinuate that he might have known who the person was, or he wanted to say that. But then again, he would still have to prove that he said that word specifically for her, because there is evidence he did it before, like regardless of the game.
Fact, and be called mentally ill, piece of shit, misogynistic, and
didn't call him mentally ill, but we'll talk about that as well inside of the screenshot, because if we want to be really specific and accurate with things that are being said, something that I take really serious, he literally misquotes inside of a quote tweet.
He called him ill, right?
So he says here that he proceeds to mute the Katarina. So it clearly shows that he has the ability to just mute someone that he's actually bothered by directly. So I just find this really weird. So this is just like an asterisk, where he's acknowledging that he can single mute someone.
Yeah, like, okay, I mean, I hope he's not gonna go into this, because it's like a boring claim that a bunch of Twitter people say, like, oh, did you know you can just self-mute? Like, that's not the point. Some people, okay, now whether that's a good tactic or not, I probably don't think it is, because I tried it once and I backfired. I didn't like it because I couldn't communicate to my teammates. Is you can self-mute, but by self-muting you can mute them, because now this Katarina may be muted, but she has no fucking clue, and this Katarina may be pinging and typing for the rest of the fucking game and do jack shit, okay, thinking, oh, this guy's just ignoring me and he's just gonna do more, right? You may think that, like, that can happen. So the self-mute function serves the purpose of notifying everyone in the game, hey, I'm off limits, you can't reach me, okay? I'm busy. Don't call me on my hotline bling, you know? And it just continues to play the game.
All right, so again, to reiterate, this all takes place in about a 45-second window, and everything that we just transcribed out that he just mentioned prior to this moment. Okay, so I think all of this context has to actually come together. Now, Florence tried to get this clip, but again, when she went to try to get the clip, obviously clips are not... clips are all deleted. The clips are all deleted. Now, some clips...
Okay, that can be sussy, but it also might not be, because we don't know what the streamer standard is. Does he allow clips and all that? Like, I don't know. Like, some people allow clips only from subs. Some people allow votes only for subs and shit like that. Unless we have, like, examples of that it's always available, and that could only mean, like, he's trying to hide. And even in that case, he might not be hiding because he knows he's wrong. He might be hiding to constrict the flow of hatred on Twitter. That could also be an argument. Like, it depends really how much you're willing to trust people.
So again, nothing is being said in chat, nothing is being pinged, nothing is going on. Now this comes immediately following the rant where he says that there's so many things that he would want to say to the Sona. Now he's already
well,
decided that he's willing
I guess.
to target mute, certain people inside of the game. Now the main thing here is, as a streamer and as a content creator, okay, there is a massive insinuation, I think, with what is going on here. And this is the thing that I talked about with many other streamers over the last like day. Just to talk about this exact topic. Nightblue has been a streamer for, I think, over a decade now at this point. So I think that he would have to really feign ignorance to what is actually happening here. When he goes to type the word whore, as you guys can see, it's starting to type it, he knows that his eyes are on his Twitch chat the entire time as he hits enter and as whore is about to be said. 20-minute surrender vote's about to come up. Literally nothing is being said in the chat. There's no spam pings. There's no text messages.
Okay, I saw like originally when I watched the video, but I didn't really fully comment on it, because it could mean so many things. And again, it's fucking pointless. Like, you can't come to court and say, yo, judge, I think they meant this, and like they smiled and all that. That shit doesn't work, okay? You need something serious. When I saw the clip originally, it did feel like he side glanced onto the chat and laughed, or smiled, actually, to be exact, to be precise. He smiled, okay? So what does that mean? Does that mean he really meant it for her? Maybe. It actually may be. Again, you have no evidence. On the other hand, it also might be because he just thinks this is pretty funny to self-mute with the word whore, because he's done it multiple times. He may think that's just actually funny enough for him to look at the chat and smile. So you could do this in multiple ways. And a lot of people who are innocent are actually going to act in like weird ways that can be construed that they're guilty, which is exactly why we have due process.
There's no benefit to doing the self-mute unless there is an insinuation implied as a content creator and as a streamer. And if someone has been doing this for 10 years, if someone is a streamer and a content creator and knows how to play off of chat and knows how to react to chat and drive insinuations and all this other stuff, it's all woven together. And this is the part where I felt like, okay,
this can come off as a stretch. This can come off as a big stretch. The only way this whole thing, this whole shebang would be meaningful. This whole shebang would be only meaningful in the case that he knew that she was a female. And potentially would be strengthened by the fact that he knew who the person exactly was and he had a history with her.
it doesn't matter if he knows the player's gender. It's literally the same exact thing with the Dom situation, which is actually what I talked about with Dom way back in the day. The word itself is already really, like, yes, the word itself is very bad. It doesn't, the assuming of her gender and the other stuff that comes in later on is tied into a different matter in itself. But I think that it's really weird how the basis of this doesn't matter in general.
Yeah, I also do believe it does matter whether he knows that that's a female player. I also think it does matter. I don't know. I guess he's gonna reference the Dom situation where Dom used painting nails as an insult as to why you're AFK. So he's gonna say that as a whore has negative connotations to the e-girl stereotype, so you're Sona regardless whether you are or not, you're being accused of being a girl. I'm guessing that would be the line of reasoning. This is chat from Nightblue, and there's no reference. There's no reference to the girl being a whore, at least not in these. And they're bouncing off of him. The fact that he said I could call her many words, that's an easy way to get banned. The donkey reference. A degenerate dumb fuck needs to be gone to see all of this shit. That's just Twitch being Twitch.
Right, people can see that you're muted, which is the whole point. Whereas when he mutes Katarina, Katarina doesn't know that she's being mute pinged and muted. So why, when nothing was being said in the in-game chat, 45 seconds out from another surrender vote after a rant about the Sona, does he feel the need to use the word to notify his teammates that he has used a self-mute function with the insinuation that is present from the webcam? I think it all ties in together. The amount of ignorance that would have to be claimed as a content creator that knows how to play off of chat, knows how to do stuff, because the joke isn't funny, him laughing or smiling, etc., while looking at his Twitch chat the entire time, it doesn't hit unless the chat gets the insinuation. That's just the way that it is.
This is the equivalent of taking apart singular coaching and trying to find random mistakes. When you look at the streamers, you're gonna find a lot of inconsistencies, a lot of stupid shit. I will sometimes think of something randomly because I'm talking to the chat, I'm playing the game, and I'll think of something randomly and I'm gonna smile. I'm gonna look around. There's gonna be all kinds of shit, especially when you're streaming 6 hours a day. You're exposed for 6 hours a day. No fucking TV station does that. They have segments of 5 to 10 minutes with one person. That's about it, and they're fully stressed out during that. Twitch streamers are way more relaxed about how they approach things. They're gonna say stupid shit. They're gonna do all kinds of things that could. If you're looking to take them apart and figure out oh, maybe here you meant this, maybe here you meant that, which is exactly why I think we should stick by some hard evidence.
Himself.
Isn't it easy for it to just apologize rather than trying to explain the position? Oh no, mode. Ooh, no, that's a huge mistake. No, it's not even ego. Oh, it's not even ego. No, you just can't do that. You literally can't do that. The climate online is such right now that that's an impossible thing to do. Not impossible, but if you do that, you're just done. If he issued if his primary here thing is I just want this to pass away and apologize, that would be horrible. Twitter would be all over him. They would just eat him up. They would literally eat him up. Twitter is just insatiable because many of these people, believe it or not, this is my estimation on the situation, a lot of people who are witch hunting here, they don't give a fuck about women in gaming. They don't give a fuck about them at all. They don't give a fuck about using these words, trying to protect it. They just want people to burn. And as soon as you take one step back, they're going to eat you alive. And they're going to demand more and more and more. Nightblue took the best course of action, in my estimation. Best course of action, which is attack it head on, showcase all the stuff, and he didn't really jump cut that much. He showed the meaningful pieces, and he gave a very, very, what I felt was an honest report of what happened, of the events, and he gave some very, very valid reasons.
So yes, it is bannable, which is why when he's accused of it, the natural reaction as a content creator and a streamer should be to deny the accusation. But that's not what happened until this actually all blew up. Because again, the way that Twitter works is that when you reply to someone, unless someone is following both you and the person you reply to, others cannot see the tweet unless it appears in Twitter's algorithm that says that someone has liked the tweet or engaged with it or has done something with it in that regard, right?
Not everyone is Twitter internet savvy, PR savvy, like that. You gotta leave some room for suboptimal performance here in terms of the Twitter PR. not everyone knows that to the dot, and I don't. Like, I would probably make the same exact mistake. Because I've never had any big claims against me. Like, I've been in this community for fucking years. I've been streaming for 6-7 years. Like, people know me, and I trust people who know me and to know my character, and I never judge people like based on stuff like that. I only think what matters like is how you act and stuff, and all of that, you know, the real stuff. And I would probably dismiss claims like that in a very stupid way, and maybe they would fester, and people could use that as an argument against me. Oh, you didn't attack the arguments, you know? It's like because I thought they were nonsensical, and that can easily happen. I can see that.
And when he goes and finds her Twitter and everything else, yes, this comes after the fact. Talked about it on stream and then says, need to stand up for myself. So obviously this is referencing the
I seriously doubt he found her Twitter. As a big personality, if you even get subtweeted, which means not directly targeted, so you get the notification, chances are about 500 likes, 300 likes, you're probably going to get it sent by one of your viewers. Because 300 likes means it had like 10,000 impressions. So the 10,000 people saw it. And it just takes one like hardcore fan of you to see that, and he's going to send it to you. That's just how things work. Also, this is something people missed. Like, when you make claims like this, it's important to put them into something. Okay? I don't think it's a very compelling argument to call Ocelot misogynistic for 1 second of Andrew Tate appearing in one of his videos celebrating. I don't think that gives us anything into Carlos Ocelot's character. Much like here, this one instance gives nothing towards character of Nightblue. You're gonna have to find a bunch of previous situations where he was acting misogynistic, so you can actually package this in. And even then would be pretty compelling, right? You can make the case. And that would be very bad for him, for Nightblue, let's say, if he was misogynistic but recovered, and this situation happens. I'm guessing the side would turn quite a lot. And even if he actually did recover and this was an accident, he'd be probably fucked. So yeah, that's one thing that matters. But nobody cares about that, apparently, on the whole Twitter drama game. On Twitter drama game, nobody gives a shit about your character, about the years, the decades of your performance or whatever the fuck you did, right? He has most of his life publicized at this point, like from whenever he started YouTube in like 2011 or whatever. You know, most of his life since 2011 is publicized, and if you can't find very compelling shit to judge his personality based like as a misogynist that would actually make this instance meaningful, then I think it's pointless.
Tweet doesn't say mentally ill. In fact, illness is like a spectrum. Actually, I could probably open my Discord where I've had conversations about this, but the phrasing is different. Or if people search or find certain clips of me on Twitch, there's literally direct different usages of both ill and mentally ill when referencing things. Obviously, I'm saying that he's unwell.
Yeah, I thought as well.
He has the ability to deny.
Again, this could be my lack of knowledge in English language. I thought as well ill means mental ill. Like, yeah, I guess ill could mean many things. Like, it can mean a bit like, but again, like, whatever, you know, I don't know. This is just how I thought about it as well.
So this person is someone that's not me, not related to me in any way, and so considering you spent the last 10 minutes talking about LS and repeatedly calling him cringe, she's probably not wrong. Nightblue was flaming me on stream. And
so you spent the last 10 minutes talking about Ellis, really calling him cringe is probably not wrong. Okay. So that would imply that he was talking about him potentially on stream, because again, this cannot be trusted. And Twitter likes are meaningless as a certification of truth, so 32 likes means absolutely nothing on that. This could mean that he talked about LS, but then again, LS is a big, popular figure. Wait, this could be after the thing LS posted anyway, so that would obviously like get to him on Twitch chat. I don't know. Okay, so this
Wait,
is
guys, careful. LS will call you mentally ill on Twitter now. Shit.
Oh yeah, so this is post the thing. He saw the thing and he's just responding to it. Okay, fair enough. Wait, like if shit happens like that on Twitter and somebody actually you're gonna talk to it on stream whether you like it or not, people are gonna force you to it, and like I imagine his entire chat was spamming, oh Nightblue, you're mentally ill and shit like that. I'm pretty sure the entire chat would be spamming some stupid shit like that. That's just how Twitch chat is, and him responding to that, like making fun of it, turning into a funny side while jungling, could very well be a coping mechanism. It could just be a way to slap back to LS, which all of it is understandable at this point.
Legends player, and you know, it's really weird that people think that I'm jumping in because she's a female League of Legends player on like there's a lot of comments like simping or something like that. Man, I suck dick. Do you understand that? Like, what is going on here? Why do people,
yeah, the simping is very moronic comments.
And
you know, it doesn't have to be simping, but the argument Nightblue came forward with is much more compelling, which would be something sussy happened to the person I really despise. Let's use that against him. That's the argument that's worth considering here. And Ellis has to prove that he didn't do that out of spite and malice. He has to prove that he did this for looking for the benefit of the community, which it's a hard argument to make because people are just resistant to those because people are not young anymore. They really don't think celebrities or big personalities really give a fuck about them. Nobody gives a damn about you, honestly. Chat, trust me. When people say they care about you, they probably don't. Like 99% of people, even when I say don't trust me, okay? Don't trust that from most people online. Most people are just looking out for themselves. Okay, trust me on that one. If there's something you learn in the stream, take that. When someone does like something super selfless that's going to go against him, that's what true character shines. If somebody says something that's going to actually hurt him online to defend you, that's when they care.
So there's some other stuff that obviously, like, there's all the tweets, and this was all like in chronological order. And then Florence ended up privating her Twitter, but that's obviously her own decision. I've talked to her a couple of times.
It would be cool if Nightblue didn't mention name tag me in the video he's making, but I figure considering he has been tagging me in Twitter posts, I feel like I will get harassed more for the simple reason of being called a whore and tweeting that it happened. I mean, this is very weirdly construed. Like, first of all, there's like a public game. If you're in the public and you're talking to people, there's a chance people could talk to you. If you're trying to tease someone, if you're trying to mess with friends and ruse them, like they're gonna fight back a little bit. They're gonna try to say some dumb shit to you. If you accuse somebody, you can very well expect somebody's gonna defend themselves. And I don't know how he can defend himself without actually mentioning this person. So this is just very, very weird take, honestly. So natural he mentions her. Yeah, like, again, to use that as an example, even in judicial system, you have the right to face your own accuser. So you need to know who accused you of what. In order to be prosecuted, I imagine. I'm not like a legal person, but I'm pretty sure that that's a thing, right? You need to know who accuses you of something. Pointless stuff, really, because the real argument was whether he knew who the person was, whether he did this like out of malice. He typed the word whore like because he wanted to insult this female person, like specifically targeted. I don't think any of the criteria were met again. He made a little bit of claims with the clips being disabled, which could play into it. The side glance could go into it. Like, if you really, really want to believe it, you could. So if in the, I don't know, next 2 years, Nightblue has like 3 interactions that are misogynistic and he showcases a lot of bias and he hates women and all of that, you can be like, okay, you also did this thing before. That was probably you hating women in that spot as well. So you can use that as a judge of character. But I don't know. As it stands, I think it's kind of pointless, and I think Nightblue should probably get an apology for harsh words, for rushing to the situation, and move on.